Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Bus. This is episode number 42, historically known as the Jackie Robinson Pod, but more importantly known as the JP might be moving to Japan Pod.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome back, JP Hovey. Hey, let's get a round of applause. Woo! It's nice to have you back, man.
Normally,
Just say it's probably not nice to be back.
normally I would say it's good to be back, but after the experience I just had the last 7 days in Japan, I do wish that I was still there. As much as I love the seat, as much as I love my coworkers, that country is special. And you see it in the last few weeks, dude, on Twitter too. Maybe just the last week, but the
Crazy.
Japan and America Twitterverse.
The alliance is growing stronger. I mean, it's the closest we've ever been with Japan predating the war. So
Have y'all seen this?
Is it the steak stuff?
Yeah, that's part of it.
that
That's
kind of
all
was
I've
like, I think, the
seen.
I think
first
that's how it
domino.
started.
I've seen it
Okay.
be like alluded to. I don't really know.
Yeah, for context, I believe that the Japanese Twitter kind of infiltrated American Twitter, and all they were doing is bombarding comments for people grilling steaks and meats and barbecues, and truly just like it's just
They surprise bombarded us.
Yeah.
Again.
And that'll be all we have today.
Dude, but I was thinking about that though, like that joke. I'm like, Japan easily could have just come back and been like, is that the game you want to play? If we
Yeah.
want to, like,
Yeah, well, yeah.
I love how we're like super cool with them now.
I know. I mean, there's reason. I've been there.
They're good
I'm
people.
the ambassador. They're good people,
Like,
man.
fuck,
And
we were the bad guys.
yeah, we were the bad guys. And I don't know, Derek. I don't know if you saw the video after Japan played England yesterday, and all the Japanese fans stayed after and picked up all the trash from the stadium. And it's just like, dude, that was one of my favorite parts is they do all of the little things right in Japan. And some of it, I'm sure would be frustrating if you moved over there and tried to live it, because it's as small as going across a crosswalk. There's zero jaywalking. Street will be empty, and everybody will just stand there and wait. And it could be a line of like 100 people, but they're not going to go, which is just awesome. Honking is basically illegal. So you don't got to worry about road rage because everybody is on their P's and Q's, not distracted, not doing anything. I heard like maybe 2 honks, and Tokyo is significantly bigger than New
They're probably
York.
friendly honks.
Right. It's
Yeah,
like
but I
they're
could see it.
friends.
Eh,
The subways, dude. One time I had a horrible moment because I was trying to call my friend that we were meeting up with, and it can be confusing because you can't really understand any of the signs. And I called him, and the train was getting there, and he's telling me like, "Hey, get on this one and meet me here." And I'm like, "Are you sure it's this one? Do you know where I'm at?" He's like, "Yeah, get on." And so I'm on the phone as I'm stepping on, and I'm talking, and it was kind of loud, and then I just like fully stop and look around, and everyone's just kind of looking over. I was like, oh my God, dude, they're not gonna allow me back.
Is it like phone etiquette on like public transportation is a
Just
big
don't-
no-no?
Yeah, can't talk. I mean, dude, it's so quiet.
Even just talking in general.
Right.
Like us having a conversation on the subway would not go well.
if you are like, it's perfectly fine to be whispering and talking low, but you cannot have like nobody's dying laughing, telling big
There's no
jokes.
street performers like there are in New York
Yeah.
on these buses going crazy.
No street performers, and it's a bunch of the things that make it cool. Definitely, I could see it, and a lot of the kids have the same complaints growing up there. It's like they feel very kind of pressured to live up to a certain standard, and they feel very boxed in. And a lot of the kids that I was talking to when I was there that I knew from IMG, I asked them like, what's the thing you miss most about America? And every single one of them, and there was just probably 5 or 6 kids, all had the same answer, and they were like, just the freedom in your day-to-day life, which I thought was pretty cool, being American, and how our biggest thing of the American brand is freedom, and that's the number one thing they miss from it. But the world would be a whole lot better if we implemented just half the things that Japanese people implement, including the freshness of the food.
Yeah, I mean, the meals, we were talking obviously before, like when you got back, and like the yen, like how far the US dollar goes with the yen, and like obviously you were saying that you were eating amazing out there, but like the entire meal comes out to like $10.
Dude, we went to the equivalent, and y'all know how I feel about Barcelona. Like, I'm not that type of tapas guy. We went to the equivalent of that in Japan, and we got probably like 6 dishes, 8 drinks total, because it was me and Sitting, and then another couple. And dude, the final bill was like $42. 8 drinks, at least 6 dishes, and a dessert. $42. And so much more high quality than anything we have here. First meal back in the US, I get sick. I don't think that's a coincidence.
I think it's your body telling you something.
It is, man. It's telling me to move there. But dude, just like it's going by all the knife shops, seeing all of that, the swords. I ordered a sword.
Good.
But it's a process of it getting here, but dude, I can't wait.
Did you?
Dude, it's like I know I should mount it, but like I kind of want it just ready to go.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Did I see on your Twitter you got your dad some custom engraved?
Yeah,
knives?
we got Hovey. I got Hovey on the knife,
That's sweet.
which was cool because he loves cooking.
Yeah.
So I know he'll be fired up, and he doesn't follow me on Twitter. That's why I post on Twitter. So Paul ain't on Twitter. He's on Instagram. Stay supporting. But dude, I like being in Kyoto because it's obviously a very big tourist place, but they do such a good job of keeping the traditions where like Tokyo can feel like New York, but Kyoto does such a good job with it. And it's just people walking around in kimonos everywhere. There's so many temples. And one of the things I love about the Japanese people is they're so willing to like teach you their culture. And
That's cool.
yeah, so like you don't feel out of place or dumb talking to somebody or asking, which I feel like in other places you can feel like like if you're in Germany or something.
Like you're almost trespassing.
Exactly. But they're like, they want to know everything about America. They want you to know everything about Japan. And I'm just like, it does not feel real when you're there. You're like, how in the world is a place this peaceful?
Yeah.
And it's so impressive. And, their crime rate is like the lowest in the world. And it's, dude, there's just so many good things.
Were you able to talk to, like, is their second language is English? Or do a lot of, like, people out there speak English?
Yeah, in Tokyo, there's definitely a decent amount.
But in Kyoto, was it harder to, were you able to go up and ask, like, a stranger on the street, like, hey, I'm trying to get here?
Yes, but only because like Google Translate and stuff, or you just, I'll just show them my map and like, hey, and then they'll just tell me like just by pointing.
Got you.
They don't really know it too well. I think they can understand it better than they can speak it.
Yeah.
But there was one place, we went to this place called Amano Hashirate, which is like a small fishing village, close to a fishing village in like the northwestern part of Kyoto, which is like, I guess they call, I don't know how to pronounce it, prefectures, do you know? But it's super small town, so not very touristy. Like we didn't see any other white people or like any other country other than Japanese people. It looked like Japanese people were vacationing there. And dude, that was probably my favorite stop of the whole trip because the water was extremely clear. Their starfish have this like orange markings on them that make them look like samurai starfish. I'm like, of course their starfish are cool too. These jellyfish are rolling through. You can see all the fish swimming, and it's one of the 3 most beauty spots in Japan. And you go up to this like ski lift and you get to see like, I guess these 2 different bodies of water coming together underneath this bridge. And it's so incredible. And some of the Japanese people there were like, I had them take a photo for us. I took a photo for them. They took a photo for us. And one of the kids was like, have a nice day. And I was like, hey, have a good day. Your English is good. It was like a squad of 4 high school kids. And they just start geeking out, like so hype. And I'm like, dude, if an American high schooler took a photo of, like a tourist or whoever, they're probably just immediately clowning and doing whatever. And the Japanese kids are just the exact opposite. And I'm like, man, they're the best. But I'm trying to think.
What was the weather like?
Pretty similar to here. It was it was a little colder probably, but it was like mid 40s to high 50s into the 60s. And like on the sunny days, which we only got like 2 full sunny days, the weather was fine, but just overcast a lot. But it would probably felt like 65 or 66.
So is it like their fall, winter?
It's spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're on the same ones as us, but I think their seasons are more extreme. Like they have
you were saying it gets pretty hot, and and I know they have like great skiing and stuff out there in certain parts of Japan. Yeah,
up in like Hakone or what is the name of it? There's like a Sapporo, which is also the name of one of the beers. But dude, yeah, there's this this little bar district in Shinjuku called Golden Guy, and I think I was telling you about it maybe, but dude, it's just the melting pot of the bar experience where there's probably like 6 rows to this place, and these bars are just stacked on top of each other, and it's only like 4 to 8 people that can fit in each bar. And so we went into probably 4 different ones. In the first one, it was like 2 people from the UK, 2 people from Argentina, and one person from Italy. And then the next one we went into, this like foreign exchange crew of kids from Norway was in there, and like 3 Australians who were there for a wedding. And then the last one was these 2 brothers that were from Portugal, or no, not from Portugal. They're from Spain, but they were born in Uruguay, but they have Italian passports, and they've never been to Italy. And I'm like, they had the funniest backstory their whole life. One of the guys is like talking about how much he loved soccer but couldn't play, and he's like doing all Google Translate with me, and he was telling me how injury prone he was, and the phrase he wrote out was like I'm so fragile, I'm so weak, I get injured when the wind blows. And he's just holding it and looking at me, and he sees me finish reading, he's like and dude, it was just like, I don't know, it was one of those experiences where it's just like, man, this is really what life is about. Like people from all over the world in this tiny bar in Japan communicating through Google Translate, having the greatest time. And it's just like, dude, God, the real life is so much better than the internet. But that bar district is just awesome because so many of the different things are themed as well. So one bartender could be singing karaoke the whole time. The other one, it could be like a Italian theme or superhero theme. And it's just, they have it all.
Before you went, I'd watched this like motocross video about a Japanese rider, and they were saying like karaoke over there is like taken very, very seriously.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's not like an embarrassing thing to go up there. It's like you are putting on a show, and like they like bow to everybody once they're done, and just the culture over there seems so sick, and just makes me realize how uncultured I am.
Oh, like, dude,
how much different shit is out there, and like the lives of people like that, the Portugal people, like that seems like such a sick life to be able to just.
I'm like, how do you, dude, I could not for the life of me figure out how they got an Italian passport without ever being there. I'm like, where'd you pick it up? Did they just send it to you? Does Italy just need residents? And
maybe they're just affiliated.
Yeah. Also went 3-0 in spike ball. I went to I guess maybe one of Tokyo's. It's not near as big as Central Park, but one of their parks with one of my friend's sister and her husband. And she works for Google. So like a lot of English speaking people are working at Google. So it was this massive picnic, but it was a great vibe out there. And they brought out the spike ball. We played against this guy from Switzerland. His name was Sunshine. Like his government name was Sunshine. And
people are so cool, man.
I know. And the other guy was from Sweden. And I said to my friend's sister, Erica, I was like, so what's the level of spike ball over here? Because I feel like if I'm lining up against 2 Japanese people, it could get dicey.
You definitely got to be prepped. It
but,
just feels like a Japanese game in some sense. I don't know if that's racist, but let's keep it moving.
No, they're quick. They're quick twitch culture. And but luckily we went up against a Swiss and a Swedish person, and we went 3-0. They were great guys, but Sitten played her butt off. And I was nervous because she hadn't played in a while. Neither have I, but I know if I'm competing internationally, I have to step up. Yeah. And I didn't know if Sitten felt the weight of the situation, but she did. She rose up, and she even had the 2 guys. They were like, "Oh man, well, you guys lied to us. Like you said, you'd never play." I was like, dude, it was great. The sushi, incredible. The fish market had some Mondo oysters that were insanely good, like the biggest oysters I've ever seen in my life. And just going by each of the fishermen, and you feel like you're contributing because they're still in their sailor clothes, and you're like, I'll take 6.
I would feel like I'm in a TV show or a movie.
Dude, that's what it looks like
in
when
the
you're
market, just walking by.
And they have every kind of fish you could imagine, and just like their sashimi plates and their poke bowls. Dude, it's a joke.
What was your favorite thing you ate? And almost more importantly, what was your least favorite thing that you ate?
The least favorite thing I ate was I got this like snack pack which we'll call it like the Japanese equivalent of Chex Mix, even though it wasn't that at all. They're doing something completely different. But they had these pretty good little rice crackers in them, but they had these kind of baked, I guess, like sardines. They were just like small fish and just whole fish. So like their eyes and everything. And I got it. I was like, oh, this would probably be fun to have. And I just immediately open and the smell crushes my nose. And we're on the bullet train when I'm trying it. And I'm already like, dude, I'm so loud opening this thing. And I'm probably ruining everybody's trip. They're commuting from work and they're just a dumb American tourist opening this snack like this Chex Mix with sardines in it. And I took a bite of the fish to taste it and it just wasn't all that. I would still crush the bag out of respect, but that was probably my least favorite. And then my favorite thing, dude, it's probably two things. Just the nigiri across the board. We went to this one place that, similar to the Golden Guy setting, a lot of the restaurants in Japan are super small because they're trying to get people in and out. And their menus will be pretty short too.
Yeah, you'll have to say how like they do the ordering and stuff too.
Yeah, like if you're waiting to go in, they'll take your order outside. They're like, hey, what do you want? Yada, yada. So then by the time you're in there, your food is at your table within like 3 minutes, which I'm like, that's so smart to do. I don't know why U.S. restaurant culture doesn't do that. Yeah. At least take that first 5 people that are waiting in line. No tipping.
So I think that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
Americans want you to sit, they tip, and
That's fair.
sorry that's off mic, but
No. Yeah, Derek said part of the reason for that is because in Japan they do not tip, whereas in the U.S. tipping is massive. So the servers are getting majority of their money from the service they're providing, from the experience. In Japanese, I'd say the food is more of the experience than the service. And but we went to this spot when the nigiri was just incredible, and the dude was crushing the wasabi root in front of you, and we had this one roll that was a normal sushi roll wrapped in the rice. But it was also like he put the rice like in the wasabi and then rolled it. So it was like a wasabi roll with just this perfect tuna inside of it. And the pieces of tuna they put in there and salmon are just so much thicker than what they do in the US. And it's just like all the different cuts of it as well. Like I feel like we're given one option for a tuna roll. And there it's like you got fatty tuna, you got the millions of different variations of this fish. And but that was a great one. And then we did this Wagyu omakase that was incredible. Like there was these 2 off menu items that were so good, and I don't even know the part of the cow that we're eating, but half of it you can eat raw, which is just like they can eat raw chicken in Japan. That's how fresh it
That
is.
just seems scary.
Yeah.
I don't even eat raw fish, and like that's kind of how you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah,
But like eating raw chicken and beef is like they're doing something right out there.
I know. Like the beef tongue, the cow tongue was so good. We did like 2 of the kind of omakases where one of them they cooked it in front of you. The other one, my friend, she cooked it for us because we don't know how to do it. But I would say those 2 things, like the Wagyu scene is just incredible.
On the line of tipping, if you try and tip, are they like no,
Dude, honestly,
I can just see it being like almost offensive to tip.
honestly,
I'm more so laughing at you asked if
Impression?
something else before it was racist, and then you.
I mean, that's just normal, man.
dude, honestly, I have no idea because we didn't try and nobody else was trying either. But from what I've heard, it is just like they refuse it.
I'm
no
pretty
matter
sure
what you
when
do.
Broads and Slammy went, 2 of my buddies went to Japan 2 years ago. They said they tried to do it like when the first couple nights.
Yeah.
And they realized very quickly the tipping culture is not like America. And it was very much like head down, like, please, sir, do not. Like, we will not accept that.
Dude, it's the respect that they have for everybody and just like every single job. We were walking on the street one day and the trash guys were coming by, and dude, these 2 guys, they hop out the truck and they don't have like the big trash compactors like we do. So a lot of it is manual labor, and they, fly off the truck, grab the bags, throw them over. Then they grab their brooms and their dustpans and sweep it up. And it was just a machine. And they did it with such intention that you're like, holy crap, if I attacked my job like this, I'd be so much more successful. And we watched a class cross the street, and then they like all bow to the crossing guard, thanking them for their service. And then when we flew away from Japan, the grounds crew all stands there as your flight goes, and they all line up and they bow and they're like saying thank you. And I'm just like,
I saw that video you posted, and I know
so
just
sick.
the emotion that was going through your body at that moment. Just like I have to go. And I will be back though.
dude, all of my validation came when each of the kids I saw, when they were talking to Sitton about meeting me while we were at IMG, and they're like, dude, we always said that, or Sitton, we always said that JP in another life he was 100% Japanese. And I was like, you guys have no idea how much that means to me. And dude, just to see them in their environment, all the kids that I knew, and to see them out of college, like with their jobs or navigating whatever they're up to now, was really cool and really special, because it's like, how many times you get to form relationships that spread across literally the earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, there's nothing better than that.
I feel like it made the trip 10 times better because you knew people, and they probably took you like, hey, we got to go to this spot rather than this spot,
dude.
and like getting to meet their families and stuff like that probably made it 10 times more special.
Yeah, they made it. They made the trip. Without them, it would have been awesome. But to have them showing us around and be our translators for a lot of it changed things too. But especially in the restaurants, like very few times did Sid and I ever order. Like they always ordered everything, which makes it so much better. Because I would not have the menus aren't really in English. We had an app that can translate stuff, but I'd have had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was.
Were there many other like Americans out there that you saw, or were they all like other whites?
I'm trying to think. I feel like there wasn't a lot of Americans, but there was definitely a lot of like people from, like, I feel like a lot of the European countries were there. Like a lot of people from England. There's a lot of people from India there. We sat next to this one Indian couple in this bar we went to. It's called Club SG. And I guess it's on the top 100 bars in the world or something, because you're supposed to have a reservation to get in there. And somehow we walked in, and then we got led to the downstairs, which is a separate bar that's like even better than the upstairs one. And the Indians next to us, they were like, how far in advance did you guys get this reservation? We're like, oh, we just kind of walked in. And they're like, no way. And I was asking them where they had been just traveling around, and they've been to so many places, and we're like, which one do you think we need to go to next? Yada yada. And they were like, well, I don't know if you would like the things that we do, like when we go to different places. And I'm thinking, like, what could this possibly mean? And I asked them, like, wait, how come? Like, I feel like I'm pretty fluent with a lot of these things. They're like, well, we do like all the Disney stuff. They're like, because we don't have any Disney in India. So like any chance they get to go to a Disney World or Disneyland, they like seize the opportunity. But it cracked me up. And I guess a lot of them maybe are like moving there as well. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different cultures, which is cool. Just being in that park, I'm like, that's when you're in that park and in that setting, it's like, okay, I could definitely live here and make friends and kind of immerse myself in the culture.
So when are you going to live there?
We'll see, man. There's some medical logistics that we have to figure out for sure, and obviously work logistics. Yeah. So, but never say never. Never say never.
That's so sick to hear. It just makes, I don't know about y'all, but it makes me want to travel like ASAP.
For sure. I've got one more question too, just on the Japan realm. If you were going to go back or recommend one thing that you did on your trip, what is it? And then what's something that you would also X from the itinerary?
Something I would X. Such a hard question.
Yeah.
Because, dude, so much of it was so fun. I think what I would have X'd, I'm wearing the shirt right now, and it is an X. It's an XL. But it was like I don't know. You just feel so rushed to like it. This is the shirt I'm referring to is Uniqlo, and Uniqlo is a Japanese brand, and it's a nice brand. Like in the U.S., the stores are only in bigger cities, bigger shopping cities, and it's pretty expensive. But over there, it's super cheap. And I feel like my last day, I was like, man, I want to go get some Uniqlo stuff. But then I completely missed like getting a great last meal. And I literally was in Uniqlo and I looked over at Sitton. I said, what the heck am I doing? Like, I don't shop for clothes. Like, I still have some of the same shirts that I was wearing in high school that are in my weekly rotation. Like, why are we here right now? And dude, I was kicking myself because my self-talk was horrible that day. I was like, somehow I find a way, like the trip is perfect. And somehow I will always find a way the last minute, just ruin it. And she's like, it's just one, like it's only been an hour. Like we could still, I was like, no.
An hour.
I'm like, you don't understand. Like we could have went to this place. We could have bought another sword. Like now I got these clothes that I don't even care about clothes. Yeah, like the shopping aspect, and we didn't really even do that much shopping, but for somebody that could care less about clothes, I'm like, I don't know why I like even went in half these stores. Somebody was like, yeah, you got to go to this little district in Shibuya for all these clothes, and I'm walking in and it's like the nicest type of, like, people that are into clothes would love it, but I'm walking through these stores and not like just everything that's not a t-shirt and shorts, so I'm like, I'm not interested really. So probably the shopping, and then the one thing we did do, dude, just like getting up early and going to like a lot of the temples and shrines. I wish we even would have got up earlier because it is a madhouse, and by the time you're finished, you can get a glimpse of it because it's slammed. But there's something so peaceful about getting to these places early, and you feel like you're transported in time, like you're walking back with those early age Japanese era people as they're going through all their daily rituals, and walking up to some of these temples and shrines when it's peace and quiet is like, it's really cool and really special. So I was just saying, I wish we could have hit more of those in Kyoto, especially.
Are a lot of those temples, are they like inhabited by like Buddhist monks, or is this way different part of like region?
No, it's truly just like, I don't know how much of it is just for like, I feel like a lot of it now is just for tourism.
Sure.
But like one of the guys that we met up with, he kind of explained what you do at the shrines, why they're there. And it's really cool. Like, you know, like the prayer aspect of it, and they like, you clap twice and then you like kind of say your prayer, you bow twice. And yeah, I wish we could have done more kind of like, the one thing I wish I would have done was probably like a guided walking tour through them with a Japanese person, like fully dedicated 4 hours.
Is there, I'm assuming you're going to want to go back at some point.
Oh yeah.
What point, like what spots are you going to want to check out next time?
Dude, all the places similar to that Amano Hashidate place, like all the smaller villages or like smaller towns. Like there's a place, it's not even that small because it's probably an hour away from Tokyo, but it's called Kamakura and it's a beach town. And I would love to go there. One of my other friends, he teaches at an international school, like in the northern part of Japan, where a lot of people snowboard.
Yeah.
And he's like, he teaches a sports business class, and he's like, dude, next time you're back, I want you to come up and come speak for that class. Dude, you have no idea how epic that would be. His name is Yoshi, and dude, Yoshi he's an icon. So I would want to, there's so many small towns I want to go to. And then Okinawa for sure, which is like Japan's Hawaii.
Yeah.
There's a U.S. military base there, but I would love to go there. The photos are incredible.
For the baseball fans that we hopefully attracted last week.
We had a big baseball pod.
I saw the
Baseball
clip with
ball.
the banana ball.
Yeah. Well, you were explaining, you can quickly explain how big Shohei Ohtani is there.
Dude, every billboard, anytime there's even space for an advertisement for something, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. And he's one of the first people that, like, if you're talking to the Japanese people, they'll ask you about, or just like a great bridge to communicate with Japanese people on. We're like, how about Ohtani? And they just freak out. Like, they love him so much. And what's the other pitcher's name?
Yamamoto?
Yes, they
Yeah.
love Yamamoto. Like, he was getting, and obviously he's a great player here, but it's like in the U.S. it's really just focused on Shohei.
Yeah.
But dude, they're all about Yamamoto. And it was opening weekend when we were there, so baseball buzz was big.
I would have loved to be there during the Ichiro
I was
Suzuki
about to
days.
say Ichiro back
Because
then
he was massive there
God.
too. I mean,
Dude, I made a
they love their stars.
fatal error. I asked the bartender, because there was a bottle of whiskey and it was like Ichiro whiskey, and I was like, "Is that a Ichiro from like Seattle Mariners?" They're like, "Oh no, like there's a lot of Ichiros in Japan." I was like, "Yeah, that's a stupid question." I was like, like in North America, like a lot of the athletes, like they have their own liquor. Like I promise, it's normal. But I was like, God, it's so stupid.
I would have done the same thing.
I
I'm like,
know.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Any connection point I could make,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be them.
Right. And that's the best part because they're about it, dude. They're about it all. Like you don't have to worry about looking like an idiot. She handled it perfectly because she's like, oh yeah, we love Ichiro. Like I'm like, oh man.
I would want to check out Japan, one for everything that you've said, but also like all of the dirt bikes are made out there, like Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, Kawasaki.
Ichiro
like,
Suzuki.
They're all like, it is the hub for motocross out there. So,
And their town, like Kawasaki, is like a city.
yeah,
And
and
it's
like
just
each one of them, I think is like
Yeah.
a city, which is cool. But yeah, that's so sick.
I know, man.
It makes me want to go to Japan so bad.
Yeah,
It went
And-
by way too fast.
And my sister and her future husband's family like just went like
Everybody's going
in the
dude.
fall, and I was jealous. They brought me back this like nice kitchen knife that it's got its own sleeve. It's got like little Japanese design on it.
Dude,
I use it on my steak every Sunday.
That's what I want.
They brought back all these cool things and stories. I'm like,
I know. Like the long blade knife that you're supposed to use for the meat slice. I was like showing the dude the photos of it, and he was doing his best to like explain to me basically that like, hey, it doesn't sound like you're there yet.
You're not ready.
And I'm like, man, I want to be ready. And I wish I would have spent more time with the knives and bought more knives. But they are still like prices are great over there. But I mean, the knives are still expensive. It's like we got one for Sitton's parents, one for my parents, and two for ourselves. And you're already running like decent bills. It's like, I wish I could buy. Like, I wish I could get everybody a knife and bring it back. But they're nice.
yeah. I mean,
And a lot of Australians, dude. There was like in 2 knife shops I went into, it was 2 Australians working it.
we were talking about it earlier today. You said Japan was like really far away, and I'm like, no, it's not. They're like right next to each other. It's like, they're 10 hours away.
10-hour flight,
from
man.
Australia.
Yeah.
The only thing Japan's really close to is China and South Korea. And I guess some of the Philippines would be like the most doable flights. But
Because when I was in Australia, like almost 10 years ago, damn,
a decade.
there were a bunch of like Japanese people like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because like we were in the Gold Coast and it's like a touristy town, or my girlfriend at the time was at a university. And I don't know if a bunch of Japanese people just studied there, but I felt like because there were so many Japanese people, I'm like, oh, it's probably like a 3-hour flight. They just pop over,
Right.
come hang out. But then it's 10 hours. I'm like, no fucking way.
We got to get some sort of non like violent earth or like a tsunami that happens that just shifts Australia closer to
Everything.
more things, because it is just
To
it's impossible to
civilization.
get there.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean-
guess unless you're the Philippines.
I think that Brooke and I are going to Italy and Greece in September, but like my next stop, I want to go back to Australia, and I want to live out there for like a year or two.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so sick, and just the lifestyle out there, just the lifestyle anywhere
learn to
but
surf.
anywhere but the U.S. seems like cool.
It does. And, I mean, I'll say this though, like, because I would love to live in Japan. It'd be a dream come true. And I've only ever been to two other countries. But the U.S. is like, most of the people you talk to in these countries is like their goal is to come to the U.S., which always gives you a sense of pride. And I get it. I mean, it's like, dude, we truly have everything, and the opportunity for these people, like, because the suicide rate in Japan is super high.
Yeah.
And so much of it is that culture and the like lack of opportunity right now. I think there's a stat out there, they have more dogs than children. And whenever there's these like population declines, it's just bad news all around for everyone. So many homes are empty in a lot of the smaller villages, especially. And it's like, so many of them are trying to get to the US. And I'm like, I would want to live in these places for a year, but I would 100% the number one place to live my life. U.S.
I feel like you got to get out there
Yeah.
to then realize what you have back home. Like, because when I was in Samoa, 100%. Like some of it's very third world.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot easier to do that. But then like you come back, you're like, yeah, this place, like America does rock. Like,
Right.
It is like awesome, and it is like being able to have like the freedom and whatnot. But just I think to be able to say you lived in Japan for a year, to be able to say you
Right.
lived in Australia for a year, it's like that's something you can reflect on and think about. Like, and if you become friends with somebody out there, like be like lifelong friends, and it's just I don't know, it just really seems attractive.
Yeah, there's so many lessons I would want to instill in my kids from the Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Which would be one of the number one benefits of living there is just being immersed in it. Because I'd love to work in like school there, or even just do videography for a school.
Yeah.
Because the kids are so grateful for any type of content, or they were the same way at IMG, and I just know that it would make their day.
Yeah.
And knowing that they have all those pressures to like be able to kind of play a role and like hyping them up. They do zero self-promotion on anything. They don't really have much for themselves. I think it would be like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome trip. Where's the next place y'all would want to go? Obviously you said yours. Where out of the country, where would you want to go?
Well, I want to go to Europe. I don't really know exactly where. I feel like you can kind of hit a lot when you're over there,
Yeah.
as I've heard from other people visiting. Japan's been on my radar since my sister and her fiance went, just because I think they just come back bragging.
Yeah.
And I've already been when I was 13 to Canada, but me, Addie, and then my family, my brother's wife, my sister and her fiance, all of them, we're going to Canada in August, which will be really fun. Cause,
Where y'all going?
like Whistler, Vancouver, so up in the
Nice.
like
That'd be
Northwest.
epic.
Northeast, right?
northwest.
West, yeah.
Longest runs in the world
Oh,
are in
yeah.
Whistler.
And I've been to Whistler. Like I said, I was young, and we did like whitewater rafting and like Olympic Village and all that. But a lot that I couldn't do when I was 13, a lot that I don't remember when I was 13. So it'll be exciting to go out there as an adult. So
And
like
when are y'all
that's
going? August?
August, and that's. I mean, I go to Mexico all the time, or I've been to Mexico a lot. So like I do travel to other countries, so to speak. But I'm excited to get to like a new experience something fresh. But
How far away is Banff from there?
honestly, I really don't know.
I don't think
I feel
it's
like-
horribly far. Like, yeah, I'd
I
have
think
to
it's
look.
like whatever the one on the east is.
Calgary's like
Calgary.
in the center.
Yeah, I think Calgary's
Yeah.
like Banff is closer to Calgary.
But I'm excited to go to Canada. I really want to get, because I've been blessed to travel like a lot, and I just haven't gone across like to Europe or
Right.
like
Across the pond.
Asia, any of that. So I'd be happy to do any of it. But
Yeah.
Japan sounds sick, and the no talking on the subway, that's right up my alley.
You don't have to worry about it. Half the things you got to worry about here.
I know.
I mean, I think I'm right in the same line. Japan and Australia would be awesome. If I go to Japan, it will definitely be for some sort of a snowboarding trip because
Yeah,
Japan
got
gets some
to.
of the most snow on the planet. And there's some really awesome documentaries that are filmed in Japan centered around snowboarding that have inspired me in my early ages before I started working here. So love to do that. Obviously, yeah, Australia, hit the Gold Coast, do whatever there is to offer out there, see some crazy animals. More like internal Europe, like a Switzerland area. I'd love to go to Amsterdam. And I just went to Greece last summer. I know JP did as well. Made sure going. I would love to revisit Greece. There's just so many islands you can go to and not enough time on just like a week or 2 weeks. So love to get back to Greece. But yeah, I'm going to fall in line with this pod for sure and probably put Japan up there as number one. And then, Australia is a close two. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Dude, another one is again, my sister and her fiance's family, they travel a lot, so they go to a lot of places I get jealous of. Iceland. And
Yeah, dude.
then my
Direct
parents
flights from Nashville.
really. And my parents went there as well, and it's just like, they bring back videos and pictures, and
It's incredible.
again, it's all the word of mouth and the story. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous because I don't even think that one was on my radar really. Like, what's in Iceland?
Right.
But it's like beautiful and fun, and that's a big one.
The whole I learned about it in high school why Iceland's named Iceland and why Greenland's named Greenland. Did you guys learn that?
No, or maybe we did, but
I don't know if this
remember.
is true or not, but it's like in high school and I still believe it to
The
this day.
opposite of each.
Yes, for like when the Vikings would like sail the seas, they called Iceland what it is, but it's like as to like fuck up the other Vikings in the sense of like don't go there. It's all ice when it's like beautiful, and the vice versa for Greenland. And I'm like that just seems so cool.
Dude, can you imagine just navigating the world in that era?
And just
they
getting
make
to
maps,
name
just
it.
like pretty much have to trust them that they said that, and like
Then you show up in a barren tundra
Yeah.
and you're like, well,
You know what
looks
I
like
mean?
most of us are gonna die.
Yeah.
How they-
the
Anyways.
Viking era, dude. Oh, Vinland Saga.
I swear.
That'll be your next one, Derek. I'll watch live action One Piece. You watch Vinland Saga.
Is anime like a big thing? Obviously, it's a big thing, but like, was it everywhere out there, or like?
It's everywhere, but dude, there must be something unique with the licensing rights from these shows because merch is kind of hard to find, which really bummed me out because if we're talking about shopping, I would have done some shopping on a bunch of anime graphic tees and everything. I was only able to secure like one, but there's a it's like the anime district. It's called Akihabara, and they have like they're really into the figurines and everything.
Okay.
So there's tons of stores, but they also it's really cool because they have a lot of the manga, so like all the comic books, and it's so funny to see the Japanese people on the subways and stuff reading manga on their phone. Like they're not really scrolling Twitter's. Obviously, some of them are on TikTok and everything, but I caught a few people reading manga, and I'm just like, you have no idea how cool that is. But yeah, I mean, it's massive, and they all know. Like, I was able to talk to so many of the people we ran into. Like, whether it would have been if we weren't able to take the subway and had to take an Uber, I would like ask the Uber driver, like, what shows do you watch? And once I was able to drop a few that I'm into, I could feel the respect they had for me. Like, oh, he's actually locked in.
Yeah, he's tapped in.
That's what it was. You know how I was saying somebody called me an old head?
Yeah.
Dude, this one guy, he was asking
You got unked in Japan?
by the porch, like the Spanish, Italian, Uruguayan guy. And what'd you say? Ungsan. Senpai. He was asking me which animes I liked. And you know, I always kind of start out with the new gen ones because the people love to give you a look of like, oh yeah, classic, like you're a new anime guy, which I am, but I've watched some of the OGs. And I mentioned the one I'm watching right now, which is Hajime no Ippo. And I said that and he hit me with the same, damn. And I said, what you mean? He said, you old head for sure, huh? I was like, God dang.
I was just trying to earn respect.
Yeah, and he was 27. I was like,
Damn.
man, come on. He was like, Hajime no Ippo. And especially like with his Spanish accent too. It's even funnier. But yeah, man. Being in the land where everybody watches anime, I just felt like I belonged finally. What else we got?
Y'all are going to Texas Tech this week, or no? You're not.
I will not be.
You're
JP
going.
is basically just like
Yeah.
Japan.
everyone will be in Texas one way or another.
Yeah, Cooper
True,
be there.
yeah.
I'll be there.
I'll
for
be
a
in Texas.
wedding.
Jack will be in Texas.
So it is
Who's
in Texas.
pitching when y'all are there? Or when
The
game you're going
Rangers?
to, yeah.
Probably Kumar Rock or Vandy guy.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he's how old is he?
He's still
He's pretty young, right?
Yeah,
Like
he's still
25,
young.
26 maybe.
He was not good last year, so hopefully this year he turns it around. He was supposed to pitch today, and then I was gonna get to see someone good, but
Is Addie going with you?
no, she won't be there for that. She's celebrating with her sister,
Has she
who is
been?
moving here. Who moved here actually?
Has she been to home?
Oh yeah, a couple times.
Okay.
We went to a wedding. We went Christmas, Thanksgiving. So
Oh yeah.
Hey, you stole both holidays?
we did 2 Christmases. We did Texas then Florida. Thanksgiving will probably be Florida next year. But yeah, she's been there. But yeah, the Rangers game, I'm pumped about that one. I didn't get to go to one last year. 2 years ago, I went to the opener and then not another one for the whole year.
What's the pulse on the Rangers this year? They're supposed to be good, or
Yeah, I mean they're getting their ass kicked right now, but they started.
it's a long season?
It's a long. There's a lot of games. They started 4-1. They lost the first game. Klump was talking shit. Then they smacked the Phillies 2 games in a row, and now they're going to be 4-2 here in a few minutes, that's not bad. It's not bad. Win 4 out of 6 games all year. They'll be pretty good. And I said last week I think they're going to be good this year, but I don't need to get into it. They'll be good. Just
Only
believe me.
157 more to go.
If I'm being positive about them, you know they might be good.
Right. I think
Although if I was being negative, they're still good.
dude, you got to go to this one bar. I got to find the name of it because this is where I met my first friend in Dallas when I lived there. And on maybe, it wouldn't have been on a Thursday because that'd be way too busy of a night. But like on a Wednesday, maybe it's like you flip a coin with the bartender. And if you win, the beer costs 25 cents. And so, dude, it was one of the most iconic things ever. No, if you lose, you just pay.
I'm fine with that. You know, if I can gamble for a beer, I'm in. But yeah, preferably I would like market price. But find that because I will go and flip the coin just for content's sake.
Like
but
a bar in Nashville, like maybe in East Nashville on Tuesday, they should incorporate that somehow. It's such a good idea.
I love that. Coop, have you heard there? I can't remember the exact name, but when I was at this bachelor party a couple weekends ago, they were talking about a place called Something's Ice House, I think.
Oh yeah,
I've never been, but I know
the
you're talking
Katy
about.
Trail Ice House.
Yeah. Katy Trail Ice House.
Dude, it's a vibe.
Yeah, they said it's like an awesome outdoor patio scene. That seems like a good Friday kind of like maybe post lunch. Go check it out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That'll be way closer to where you're at. But as me and Sherm were, I'm begging Joe T. Garcia's. It's probably a little trek, not too bad, but probably the best restaurant of all time. That's my pitch.
What kind of food is
It's
Joe T's? It's
Mexican food. Yeah, it's like an outdoor patio. It's really nice. I'd have to pull up pictures. It's
supposed to be a hot one. I know this
Yeah.
weekend everywhere here in Nashville too.
You got to go to the Ice House. Great vibe. It's like right on their Greenway too.
You've been there before?
Yeah. And then, dude, also on Greenville Ave. Did you ever spend much time on Greenville Ave?
Classic.
Of course, right, dude. But they have this place, and I feel like there's a few in Texas in general and other places, but it's called the Truck Yard.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I've been in the Truck Yard.
dude, Truck Yard's
Truck
awesome.
Yard's sick.
Okay.
It's so I guess it's Lower Greenville actually is the name of it. But yeah, it's basically like you walk in and it's just all these pieces of old trucks that are like stuck in the dirt, and a few bars are like
Some food
created
trucks.
out of them. There's
Yeah.
food trucks.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
sweet.
great vibe.
There's like a centralized bar area.
Yeah.
And then two sides, all the trucks like he's talking about, and different food trucks.
Is like the trucks like a table, or is it just kind of like art?
They turn there's some of them that are like it's like tailgates, and there'll be like benches with a table in between.
Right.
Like it's kind of hard to explain, but that place is sick.
Dude, Dallas has so many fun spots.
I'm so fired up because, like, as an adult, and we're fortunate enough with work that we've got to experience a lot of cool cities, like big and small. And this is one of the first times in the last few years where I'm going to a very major metropolitan area that I've never been to except for commuting through an airport. So just to like get that first taste of it and like really develop like how I feel about it, I'm pumped. I feel like the older you get, you kind of realize you only get to visit X amount of cities for the first time again. And
Right.
you know, inside the US, like I said, you know, we get to see a lot of them. So I'm excited to come back and hopefully with some good news that Dallas is them or him or her, whichever one you want. We're gonna figure it out.
I love it. I think Dallas is him.
There's to go back to like the tailgate or the truck place. There's a bar in I think San Diego. Brooke was telling me about. Like you rent out. I don't know if you rent or you just kind of get placed. You get in like a motorhome or like kind of like a motorhome, and like that's your section for the night, and like you're kind of hanging out in like your own little room by yourself. Just
Nephew would hate it.
yeah, or no, Matt. Oh,
Yeah.
Wait,
I looked at Coop.
Mitch said hate or heard hate and looked at Coop. Goes,
Yeah, I heard hate, and I'm like, Coop hates everything. So except
Wow.
except the Rangers and the Cardinals, but
no, I hate the Cardinals.
but. Like Brooke went there for like a bachelorette party and said it was like the most fun.
That's really cool.
And fun bars are very it sounds
Fun?
It sounds really dumb, but really like underrated. And there's not enough of like those cool type bars. Like you just have like your stereotypical bar, and it's like you're just the same as every other one here.
I'm with you. As a person that doesn't really enjoy going to bars that much, when there is a fun one, I feel it just
So I will go back to that one.
it puts it over the top for me.
Where we at, Derek?
50 minutes.
Boom.
Perfect.
Sweet spot.
Next week we have a very, very special guest.
Is it gonna be a one-on-one?
No, it'll be a couple of us, but unfortunately y'all two won't be here.
I know. I hate that. Are
But-
you gonna announce it? Who the guest is? Has it already been announced?
It hasn't been announced, but I'm gonna
Yeah, I feel like you got to tell the people.
Got to.
Next week we have a very special guest. Supercross is in town, and therefore my family comes down every year for it. And my brother, Nate Carsley, is flying in Tuesday night, and he's strictly coming in that early just so he can come and sit on the Inside the Bus set.
Coming in a week early just to get on the bus
and
inside.
be on the pod. And what sucks is that y'all two are not going to be here.
I know.
It's just gonna be me.
What day do you leave? Oh wait,
No,
we're gone for
yeah.
spring tour.
But if y'all have any questions you want to ask him,
I might have to create a couple just because
Yeah.
your brother geeks me out. Me and him had a good time the last time he was in Nashville out
Yeah.
to bars.
This means I'm gonna have to step up and actually ask questions.
Yeah. and like we can like he's really looking for like when we first started, he's like, bro, you need to get me on there. I'm like, you got to come down. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, all right. And then he's like, I'm thinking I'm coming down Tuesday. I was like, why that early? He's like, to come on Inside the Bus. What do you mean? So
We talked about this, Mitch.
it'll be us two, and then probably Matt interviewing my brother, which will be a
All
geek.
time.
Last
But-
time he was here, he fell asleep on the couch, right? Or was
Yeah,
that his
'cause-
friend?
When was he
did-
here?
He was here April of last year. Him and his one of his buddies who's working down here and like just somehow or ended up being down here at the same time. He'll be in. I don't know if he'll be coming in the shop, but Nate and him last year just fell asleep in there because they were just out until 3 or 4 every night. And I'm sure it'll be the same thing this time around. But yeah, he'll be shacking up with us for a couple days, which will be interesting. But
Couple weeks.
Blue collar,
Yeah.
man.
I'm trying to get Nate to move out of PA because he needs to get out of there. But he
How old is he again?
he is 20. I'm 27. He's 24, turning 25.
And wait, does he work concrete?
Yes. And I'm like, bro, Nashville just keeps pouring concrete everywhere.
Not
Like,
the butt concrete.
yeah, like come
Opportunity
Where's your
everywhere.
concrete fit?
come join the concrete jungle down here or something. But
He leads the jingle thing now. The Caroline.
no, that is my roommate from college,
Sorry, gotta go.
which we will get into closer to Christmas time.
I thought you were about to do an early poll.
No, but yeah, we have a special guest next week, and it'll be cool.
And you know how him and his boy were napping on the couch last
Yeah.
time they were here? There's something about like because your brother, he works in concrete, like hard work. There's something about like the blue collar nap that part of me envies. And I'm like, man, I wonder like what my life would be like if I was living, like I would probably be sleeping so much better. And it's just something about seeing a guy, jeans on, belt buckled all the way tight, boots on, like, and
Hat.
it's probably the worst thing you could think of to sleep in, just in full REM.
Probably got a can in the back pocket,
Can in the
still
back
pressing
pocket.
against the cheek.
But like 100%, that wasn't a blue collar nap. That was a hungover nap.
Right.
Dude,
But-
come on, man.
But he had the blue collar look.
Yeah,
What are you
him and
doing?
We both at the same
like
time.
I'm wearing like a t-shirt, shorts, and like these shoes.
Hey, show off them high tops, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Him and I could not be more polar opposite, and it's
Right.
gonna be funny when he's sitting right here. Like, this is my brother, and he's gonna have his hat on, he's gonna have his mustache, he's gonna have like just a shit kicker shirt, belt, jeans, and boots. And I'm like, how are
First family member on the pod for anyone, right?
Yeah.
Gotta believe Camp's next.
gotta get
God.
I'll start recruiting.
Cam left a juicy comment on my post this morning. Oh, God,
Did he really?
I love this guy. Yeah.
we gotta get Jimmy on.
Yeah, if he just
Next
ever
time he's in
comes
town.
back, I guess we could do like a Zoom interview. It'd be like 8 a.m. for him in Hawaii. But whenever he comes back, he's mentioned that too. But I'm a little bit harder on him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Nate, he listens to this shit all the time, so shout out Nate.
Let's
But
go, Nate.
Nate.
look forward to that next week. We will catch you next
Episode
week.
43.
43 with
Yeah.
my brother.
JP, you want to sign us off? Sign us off. Just give one last thank you to Japan.
A bow.
Arigato gozaimasu.